Here's the starting grid for the race. J Fury starts from pole position, followed by J Hatch on the front row. Aussie will start from third, a position qualified in by the reserve driver Waveline M. Guzman. Yoa starts fourth, AU Grand fifth, Laurent sixth, Ricky seventh, Ludwig will start eighth, Nick Hill will start ninth. Ben Onobla was meant to start 10th but did not start the race as such. NT he starts 10th and Mafico Rosgui 11th. Let's get straight into the race. Hello and welcome to Formula League Season 2, Round 8 here before the second mid-season break. We're underway. 11 drivers out on the grid. Tihi with a bit of a slow start. He had some issues with that in the connection check races. Hopefully won't matter too much in the end. J Fury starting from pole position and now looking to try and escape. J Hatch right behind him has a little lag there. But looks fine. Doesn't look like that affected anyone. Aussie is also there fighting with them. A Grand. Then we got Yoa. We got M. Ludwig. We got B. Laurent. We got a bit of chaos going on. B. Recky's up here as well. We got Tihi up into 9th. Then we got Nick Hill and Mafagil fighting for P10, but right now it's Fury, Hatch and Aussie boosting his way past Hatch into P2, but the three drivers are still very close together. It's 10% rain here today in Zandvoort. Fury forces himself and Aussie wides. Through goes Hatch. Fury forced into the grass there as well. We've got 10% rain here today. We've got heavy rain incoming. Aussie can't go on the wet tires. He's got one inter tire. Hatch now with a little lag. Fury down in P3, Ludwig already up into P4, then it's Laurent, then it's Tihi, he's up into P6, and we've got the rain incoming as the drivers try to navigate these final turns on those fresh soft tires. Ugrand's down into P11, I wonder what happened there. It's gonna be cloud soon. Aussie's onto the wets. Well, he can't go on wets, so that will be counted as an inter tire most likely, but if he goes on another tire he might be in trouble considering Guzzi's Hatch decided to fully stay out. So did Laurent and Ricky decided to fully stay out on dry tires. I think inters may be the best choice, but we'll have to see if the rain doesn't come back. We'll have to see how long it takes to dry up. I don't think dry tires are the best choice in a scenario like this. We've got Fury, then Ludwig, then we've got Hatch on those mediums, we've got Tihi and Yoa catching up behind, we've got Laurent still holding on, nope, not holding on anymore to those softs. Him and Ricky, Nick Hill and Ugrand behind on the inters trying to get past them, and they get past Ricky. And Ugrand boosts his way past Laurent. What a turbo boost that is. The sun is coming soon, and it will be the deciding factor in whether staying out on those dry tires has succeeded. I don't think it has. Hatch is down into 6th, Laurent is in 10th, Ricky is in dead last in 11th. We've got Ludwig 2nd, Fury 3rd, Tihi, Yoa, and Mafagil is up into P7. Great stuff from Mafagil in the rain conditions, in the wet track conditions. Then we got Ugran and Nick Hill. I think they got slowed down the most by some of the dry tire strugglers. Fury is already in for dry tires. He's trying to do a little undercut to fight back for the lead of the race. And he comes out in 8th, just behind Ugran and Mafagil. It's a pretty long pit, so that might have been a fair judgment for some of the dry tire runners, at least for J Hatch, who is still up in P5. The clouds are coming back. This race has not ended in terms of chaos just yet. Wavelines running 1-2. Ludwig staying out on the inters because of the clouds. Aussie has to pit. The wets are worn and the sun is coming in soon, so that's good for Aussie. He's onto the medium tires. Ludwig, Yoa, Tihi all still out on the inters. Hatch on the mediums, and it looks like it might actually work out for him. He might actually inherit the lead of the race if the track remains dry. He now is going past his teammate Tihi into P3. The fastest lap of the race so far is B. Laurent, who's out on those soft tires. He's up into P7, Ricky's up into P8, so the Gampo might have not been too bad. I think Ludwig might challenge Hatch. No, not even challenge him for the race lead currently. Hatch is through into the race lead and far and ahead of anyone else thanks to that gamble. It's worked out for him just enough. Ozzy and Jay Fury are fighting for P2. We've got Ludwig in P4, Lerone is up into P5, Ricky up into P6, Yoa in P7, he's the only one out on hard tires, Teehee's into P8, Ugran P9, Nick Hill P10, and Mafagil is down in P11 after the switch back to dry tires. But Hatch is our race leader. Can he give HRT Storm their first ever win? He's got a massive gap thanks to that gamble. But he's also got two very, very hungry wave lines right behind him. He's also got Jay Fury fighting them. Ozzy letting M. Ludwig pass here obviously is trying to prioritize M. Ludwig's Drivers' Championship run here. He let Ludwig win the Belgian Grand Prix due to a similar reason. And Jay Hatch, well, he is in a worse car and he is on worse tires. It will be very difficult to keep that lead. It's 39.82 from him. It's a 38.53 from Ludwig, the fastest lap of the race from the Austrian driver. What about Ricky? Ricky's up into P6. No, he was already in P6. He's actually getting caught up to by Yoa. Is going to challenge for that P6 on those fresh hard tires. What about down the grid? We got Nick Hill and Mafagil. I don't think either of them have had much practice on this track, but it's looking to be a calm drive currently. Ugran in P9, he'll definitely want to make it back up. Not sure what happened to him in that first stint before the rain, but it caused him to tumble down quite a few positions. And now Teehee is also caught up to this pack of Yoa and Ricky, and he's looking to challenge for position. He's on the soft tires after all. Yoa is looking to get past Ricky here. They're going side by side. Teehee also looking for an opening now. He's on the outside of Ricky, and both him and Yoa make the overtake. Teehee's still trying to hold on to it. They're both boosting him and Ricky, and Teehee comes out just ahead in P7. As it stands, Ludwig is closing down rapidly on Hatch on the better medium tires. I think Hatches are already worn out, approaching their pit window, and he was 1 second faster last lap. He also had the fastest lap of the race. He improved his own fastest lap at 38 flat is what he managed to hit, which is faster than anything we saw in qualifying. But to be fair, nobody in qualifying managed to get more than 2 dry tire runs, so it is to be expected. Ludwig is through into the lead of the race now, into first after 11 laps. Hatch is going to try and hold on for as long as he can. That was another lap where Ludwig was a second faster, and Hatch will be probably looking to switch those mediums out for another set of tires. Laurent is into the pits off of his softs. They've ran as long as they could, and now he's onto the hard tire. And he's going to come out in 9th, just ahead of Nick Hill. Teehee and Yoa have escaped Ricky quite a bit now. Teehee is struggling to stay close to Yoa, however, despite being on the softs compared to Yoa's hards. We've got Ozzy also looking to try and chase down Jay Hatch, who has now unfortunately fully lost. Ludwig, who had a time 1.7 seconds faster than Hatch last lap. In comparison, Ozzy only had a time 0.9 seconds faster, but that wave line is still an absolute rocket ship, and they're looking for that 1-2. Hatch is also struggling. Those mediums have seen better days. I think he'll be pitting either this lap or next. We got Mafagil into the pits, onto the hard tires. I think he's pit maxing to try and get some extra research out. It is only a time that's half a second slower than Ludwig that lap from Hatch. It's 6/10 slower than Ozzy, who hits his fastest lap of 38.93. And now he's passed Hatch quite easily into P2. What else do we have going on here? Ricky is into the pits again. He's onto a set of soft tires. He comes out into P10 behind Nick Hill by about 3 seconds. Nick Hill's mediums are starting to wear, but I think he's still got a lap or two left in them, potentially. That offset will be very interesting to see strategically as well back there. Ludwig is approaching Mafegill now for the first blue flags of the race, just halfway through the race, exactly halfway through the race. It is 15 and a half laps we've driven so far. J Fury, those mediums are really struggling now. I mean, look at that. No grip whatsoever, no grip to be seen. Ugran's up into P7. He is chasing down Tihi a bit. He's got better tires in consideration of tire wear. Hatch is now finally into the pits as J Fury passes him into P3. Will Iowa be passing J Hatch into P4? Yes, it looks so. J Hatch is onto the hard tires. I think he might keep those till the end of the race, and he comes out in P5 ahead of Tihi, who will soon have to convert his softs for a new set of tires. Same with Ugran. Laurent is catching quickly on both of them on fresh hard tires, but I'm not sure whether Laurent's hards can last until the end of the race. Ludwig with a very calm race lead now with about 4 seconds. He was 8/10 faster than Aussie last lap. Fury currently holding on to P3 on those mediums, but they are quite worn. Yoa's hards are approaching that midway point as well. I think he might finish this race on softs or mediums. Ugran's been overtaken by Laurent now as a result of the better tires. Ludwig had 38.98, not that much faster than Aussie last lap. Fury is into the pits, promoting Yoa up to P3. He will be hoping to get lucky with the rain. Hatch is back up to P4, and I think Fury will come out in P5. Dihi and Laurent with a bit of a fight there, but Laurent has managed to get past the Belarusian driver on a worn out soft tires. Oh, those are very worn out indeed. Ugran is into the pits onto a set of hard tires. Those will last him until the end of the race. He's back in P9, but he might be able to leapfrog some drivers. He might be able to overtake Tihi, for example. His softs have seen better days, and he will have to pit shortly. Ludwig is into the pits and comes out in the lead of the race. Aussie is also into the pits, but Yoa is passed into P2. Hatch is passed into P3, interestingly enough. Aussie down in P4. J Fury in P5. Laurent in P6. Ricky in P7. Ugran is up in P8 now after Tihi pits for the medium tires. He's in P9. Hill is in P10. I think he recently pit for soft, and Mafegill in P11 on the hard tires. Yoa's found himself up in P2 right now. This would be the perfect moment for him to see some rain help out his strategy here, because those hards have seen better days, and slowly but surely Hatch and Aussie will catch back up to him. And the weather marker is moving away from the sun, and this might be the most important weather shift in this race, next to, of course, great blue flags there from Mafegill, by the way. Shouts out to him. Both Hatch and Aussie smoothly making it past him. It might be a very important shift in terms of weather if the rain does come in for Yoa, but he's past the pits now. Hatch and Aussie are past him as well, and we are still on sun. The weather markers moved a bit more towards cloudy, right on that precipice, but it is still sunny and it's still a fully dry track. Fury down in P5. That will make you feel fury. After you started on pole, you were hoping to try and hold on to a podium position. Now you'll just be hoping that the drivers up ahead lose time to you in one way or another. The weather marker is moving back to sunny. Hatch has lost Ozzy and Yoa a bit here. Ozzy's looking for a move down the inside of Yoa. Very nice move there. Yoa also afforded him some space to allow that move to happen. Ludwig with the fastest lap of the race at 37.40. He's improved on his own lap once again, and that is an insanely good lap from the wave line number 1. Ozzy is back up into P2, Hatch is into P3, Yoa into P4. He's still hoping for rain to reverse his fortunes, but as it stands, this here in Zandvoort, those clouds are nowhere to be seen. It's Fury P5, Laurent P6, Ugran up into P7. He's caught up to Ricky, whose softs are dying out. He will have to pit once more, I believe. I don't think he's gotten the strategy quite right as a result. Then we have Tihi in P9 and Hell in P10. And if Ricky has to pit one more time, Nick Hill might actually be able to fight him for P9. We'll have to see. Hatch is slowly losing time to Ozzy, same with Yoa to Hatch, and the rain is nowhere in sight for Yoa. I think he'll have to cut his losses and pit for softs soon, and he is into the pits, and I think it's only softs that you can be pitting onto in this context. Fury up in P4. Yoa will come out, I believe, in P5. Yes, because Laurent is into the pits as well off his hards onto self softs, which means Ugran is up into P6. Ricky is now into the pits as well, onto a final self soft into P10. And the clouds are coming in now. No rain, but the clouds are coming in now, which means if the rain comes in, it will only protect the status quo. Most boring possible moment for the rain to come in. Fury's up into P4, Yoa in P5. Yeah, there's not many close gaps. There is Tihi about 2 seconds behind Ugran. That is the closest gap alongside Hatch, close to Ozzy. But yeah, the sun is coming in. And I think it will stay dry until the end of the race. I think we're approaching the window where even if it rains, the better option will be to stay out. We're not at that window yet, but the window is approaching shortly as well. But there's just no foreseen rain event happening in these final laps as it stands. It is a 1-2 for Waveline. It's a P3 for J Hatch, P4 for J Fury, then P5 for Yoa, then Ugran, Tihi, Laurent, all closing in on each other. Nick Hill has had to pit onto a new set himself, which promotes Ricky back up into P9. And Tihi and Laurent are getting close to Ugran here. Or at least Laurent is getting close to Tihi. Tihi now makes an error, and Laurent is right on the back of him, looking for P7 here. That Arian era racing car shockingly ineffective, at least earlier on in the race. And now Tihi holds down the inside, holds down the position. Laurent down the inside, a bit of a dive bomb, but it's all clean. He's up into P7, and Tihi, I think, will not take that standing down. I think is sitting down. I think he will still look to try and fight for the position, but he does have the worst tires and the slower tires, so it will be tricky for him. This is the only close gap we've got. Laurent has lost a bit of time to Ugran while trying to get past Tihi, and I'm not sure whether Ugran is within the catchable range. Laurent only managed to gain about 4/10 on him last lap. Meanwhile, Tihi is still on the back of him as much as he can. Let's see here at the end of this lap, what are the lap times? Let's compare them. It's 39.70 from Ugran, 39.77 from Laurent. He gained no time, he lost 700s that lap. I believe it is sorted right now. Tihi, meanwhile, is struggling, though he is losing just a fair bit, just about a tenth a lap from Laurent. You can see that he's slowly drifted away, his tires are getting worse. And they are just already slower than the softs, but the softs might be worn out enough by the end of the race where Tihi could challenge Laurent for P7. We see clouds coming in. Nobody's close enough for it to matter. Oh, Yoa is actually closing down on Fury. It's under 2 seconds. He gained 6/10 last lap. That would not be enough usually to close down to Fury, but if he can rise in terms of gain, he could close down on him. M. Ludwig's already started the final lap. It's Sun coming back. Laurent also closing down on Ugran here slowly. He is 1 second behind or thereabouts, but his softs are also starting to struggle. Tihi has really lost out to Laurent now. He didn't have the better tires, he didn't have the faster tires, as M. Ludwig is going to cross the finish line here and win the Dutch Grand Prix. Aussie in second. We will have to have a look at him pitting for the wet tires, but likely to be counted as enters, likely to be lenient there. Hatch in P3, great podium for the HRT Storm driver. Fury held on to P4, Yoa in P5. Ugran looks like he'll hold on to P6. Just no real position battles near the end of this race. It is P6 for Ugran, P7 for Laurent, P8 for NTE, and it'll be P9 for Ricky and P10 for Hill, P11 for Maffigill. Not really much shock here. Big gap between Hatch and T. They have the same car, but it was 3rd and 8th for them. Of course, qualifying likely played a role in that, but regardless, that is quite surprising of a gap. Meanwhile, other teammates, Jeep Fury, Ugran, they were just 2 positions away from each other. They were P4 and P6. Ludwig and Aussie were just a position away. They were just right next to each other, 1 and 2. So, not sure what caused that specific disparity other than quali. But M. Ludwig is your race winner here today in the Dutch Grand Prix. It is a 1-2 for Waveline, and the podium's rounded off by Jay Hatch. Let's go with Yoa if he's interested in an interview. P5 for you today. Some glimpses of brilliance in the qualifying, especially in Q1 yesterday with the wet quali, where you got a dominant time, then a bit screwed over in Q2. And what can you tell us about the race today? Alright, Yoa says, not a great race if I'm honest this weekend. It just wasn't meant to be. Start was, yeah, another disappointing result. We moved. Solid job by the Wavelines and Hatch and Fury out in front. Thank you, Yoa, for your time. Got M. Ludwig up next, the race winner, of course. So let me check. Standings-wise, this is his 4th win in a row ever since the first mid-season break. It's only been M. Ludwig on that top step. Of course, also that controversy with Aussie picking the wets, which he did not have, will have to be looked at. from Ludwig. Quite happy with how the race turned out, despite some rain and starting third slash eighth. We still managed to fight back to the front for another 1-2. It will be interesting to see if we continue to be the dominant car after this next week break. Up next, we can have Ricky P9 for you today. What did you make of the race?
Just boring overall a bit. In the starts, B. Lawrence, I don't know who it is. I think it's blank, I don't know. He had a very crazy rejoin which just killed half my speed. Yeah, after that it was all downhill.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you very much. And finally, Nick Hill P10 for you today. You came in without, I believe, without any previous laps, so not the worst. But what did you make of your race?
Testing. Testing.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yay. Okay, no practice. The car wasn't amazing, but I felt like I had good pace. I was keeping up with Hatch near the end, a lap down, which gave me a little bit of happiness, seeing that I wasn't that bad. But yeah, overall, just, no pace.
All right, thank you very much. And that was the Dutch Grand Prix, and we'll see you for the final 4 rounds after a second mid-season break. So see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye bye.